Namaste students. My name is JVS Dr. Neeraj Dholia, Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur. So today we are going to discuss the topic proteomics, and this belongs to the subject microbial genomics. So what is the proteomics? Protein, you all understand what is the protein, and the proteomics is the whole uh, uh, whole pool of the protein is known as the proteomics. So all the proteins within a cell known as the proteomics. All the proteins synthesized by a particular cell at a particular time is known as the proteomics. So one another term is there, that is the proteome. So what is the proteome? Proteome is the protein complement of the genome. So it is quite a bit more complicated than the genome because a single gene can give rise to a number of different protein through various process. Okay, so one gene can produce more than one proteins because there are many modifications, many alterations are there, like the alternative splicing is there. So through the removal of the introns, exons, one or more exons can in the recombination in the different combination may produce different types of the proteins. Okay, so the from one differentiate cell type to other differentiate cell type, the proteome may vary, or we can say that the proteomics of the cell is different from the different type of cells, because in our body we have different types of differentiated cells, and the each type of the differentiated cell is different because it is expressing the different types of the proteins. So gene is same in all the cells of our body, but the difference is because RBC is different from the heart cell. Okay, it is different from the liver cell, it is different from the skin cell. So why they are different? Although they have the same genomic information, same genome they have carried, but they are appearing different, they are behaving different. Okay, so because the part of the genome which is expressing at that particular in that particular cell is different, so they are different. So it is a very expressive part of the gene and the genome. Okay, so not this, but a single type of cell can have the different proteomics in different time points. Okay, means depending on the activity of the cells. If at the time of the replication they are having the different types of the proteomes component of the proteins, in the condition where they have some stress, or in the condition where they have the available nutrients all around them, or in any response, etc. In the condition, different conditions, one single type of cell may have different proteins. Okay, so it is very complex thing to understand or to study the protein component of a cell or different cells of an individual. So if it is very difficult, then how to study the proteome of any cell? Because if we are studying the proteome of my cells, my liver cells today in the morning, it will be different, and if we are checking in the afternoon or in the evening, so the proteome may differ. So how to study the proteome, and how can we make the standards for the proteome? So there are various vast variety of methods for study the proteome. Okay, simply you can estimate the protein component at different time points, and you can claim that in this specific condition, in this specific conditions, the proteome will be like this. Okay, so first of all, you have to isolate the cells itself. The cells itself should be pure. Means if you are going to study on the protein composition of a liver cell, then it should be only liver cell, not the other cells. Okay, so while collecting the cells, while isolating the cells, the purity should be there. Okay, so we can get the cells from by isolating these cells from the tissue, or we can grow artificially them on the animal cell culture methods, using the animal cell culture methods. So first of all, isolate the homogeneous population of the cells. Then extract the contents of the cell. Means you have to lyse the cell. You have to follow the procedure of the protein isolation. You can get the whole cell lysate, and from that you can isolate the protein component. Okay, so because after lysing the cell, you will get the um, whole material, whole cytoplasm will be there. So the proteins will be there, the DNA will be there, the salt, the other components will be there. So it is not pure protein. So you have to first lyse the cell. You can collect the whole cell lysate. Then you have to conduct some experiments to get the protein component, only protein component. So the uh, first method we generally prefer to isolate the whole proteins component of a cell is the 2D gel electrophoresis. 2D means the two-dimensional gel electrophoresis. So this is the electrophoresis technique. Simply, it is it follows the principle of the electrophoresis, but this separates the protein on two things, on based on the two things. One is the size, and second is their electrical charge. So the proteins will move in two directions. First, you will do the simply you can perform the electrophoresis on the basis of the charge, and then on the basis of the size. Okay, so the procedure is analogous to the paper chromatography. Okay, then when you isolate the whole protein component, you have to stain them to visualize the component of the proteins. Okay, because proteins itself are not colors that will be visible, so you have to stain them, stain the gel, and you can identify that, okay, this many types of protein components are there. They will be observed as the spots. Okay, so you will now compare that spots to the already available uh, proteome data of that particular cell. Okay, if you find some protein of interest to study, you can take out it from the gel by punching out, or you can, if you are finding a new spot, means a new protein which is not discussed or which is not studied before, so it is the uh, unique protein, it is the new protein, you can study for further studies. So you will punch out the spot, and you will add the protein digestive enzymes like the trypsin to digest the protein in that from that spot. Okay, then to confirm or to identify or to know the identity of that specific protein, you may perform the mass spectrometry. Okay, so mass spectrometry will separate the peptides into sharply defined peaks. Means there are different, they for a different component, it will give a different peak. Okay, so you will get the data in the form of the peaks, and you will compare this data with already available database. So you can run the resulting data through a database for all known proteins that have been digested with the same enzyme to see if you can find the match. So if it is available, it is fine. If some new peak is there, means that is different types of a new protein is there. So there are many interpretations from the available data. So if the match is not there, means the you have find a new protein, so you can report it, and you can again do some studies on that. Okay, you can isolate the individual peptide from your mix and run one through a mass spectrophotometer that has been modified, and enter the resulting data into a database that match the mass data with known pairs triplets. Okay, so you may report, or you may enter the newly recognized protein in the databases. Okay, to search the genome database for an open reading frame that contain the sequence, and translate that ORF to get the entire amino acid sequence to your protein. Okay, so from that you can background you from the data you got from the search, you will find the entire peptide sequence. You can translate and get the DNA sequence. You can find out the ORFs from the available tools, and you can report them. Okay, so that was about the proteomics. So this is not completed in this lecture, so we will continue to study the proteomics in the further lectures, and hope you are satisfied with this digital session. And if you have any query, you can write in the comment box. I will resolve that. Thank you. This session is powered by Digital Version 2, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur.